With the help of my oldest daughter, I found out that at least 4 of my 5 children are not mine. My wife is in denial, and every time I try to talk to her, she keeps brushing it off and says it's a mistake. My wife is 51 and I am 52. I met my wife when we were in high school and we married in college. We have 5 beautiful children together, 4 girls and 1 boy. They are 14, 24, 28, 30, and 33. Really, I consider them a total blessing regardless of what I'm about to bring up. And up until a couple of weeks ago, I thought that we had the perfect marriage. We were typical high school sweethearts. I feel like I've done everything a loving husband should do. I am saying this not to make myself out as the perfect husband. For example, my work has always meant I work long hours and maybe haven't always been there when she needed me. But I want to stress that I've never felt our marriage was in any trouble. And never in a million years would I ever have suspected my wife of being disloyal. She's always done everything she could to support me and take care of our children. Now, my eldest daughter recently had an ancestry test done, and the results of the ancestry test strongly suggested I was not her father. She confided this to me privately, showing me the results, and I could tell she was visibly upset by this. Of course, the first thing I did was reassure her that no matter what, she's my daughter and I'll always love her unconditionally. But secondly, the two of us decided to get an official paternity test since the ancestry tests are not completely reliable. It comes back and I am indeed not her biological father. This news really broke me. I'm ashamed to say I broke down in tears in front of my daughter. The combination of finding out about my wife's infidelity and how upset I was making my daughter by how I was reacting. I really wish I had kept it in for her sake, but I didn't. Following this, I asked my other children, except my youngest, to come and see me. I wanted to know the extent of my wife's infidelity. If it was a one-off, I could maybe work past it, especially given how long ago it would be. However, I didn't want to tell my youngest as she is still in school, a teenager, and I didn't think it was appropriate to tell her yet. We tell the other 3 what has happened. I reassure them that I love them unconditionally and that I'll always be their dad, but that I need to know how long this has been going on. God, I can't begin to explain how touching their reaction was. They didn't care I wasn't their biological father. They were just upset at how heartbroken I was. I feel like the only thing that has kept me going these last couple of weeks is their unwavering support. So, we have paternity tests for each of the 3 done. Not only are none of them my biological children, together 4 of my children have 3 different fathers, which somehow made it worse. It's like she wasn't just having an ongoing affair, she was having multiple. I can't explain how this make it worse, but it just does. So, I confront my wife with this, expecting her to confess and beg for forgiveness. She doesn't confess. She doesn't even take it seriously. She says the tests must be flawed. All 4? How the hell am I supposed to take that seriously? I keep bringing it up and she keeps brushing it off, getting progressively more annoyed at me. When I bring it up, she will try and guilt trip me. We've been together since high school. Do you seriously not trust me? Etc. But how am I supposed to trust her in the face of such overwhelming evidence? Edit. I guess I should clarify some things that people have been asking. 1. How did the ancestry results suggest I wasn't her father? My family is entirely Irish. No relatives outside of Ireland other than my immediate family, and I even have the stereotypical red hair. My daughter's ancestry results showed nothing from the British Isles / Western Europe / Northern Europe. That's what set off alarm bells, but it's by no means conclusive, hence the paternity tests. 2. Which 2 children share the same father? My 2 eldest daughters share the same father. 3. How did your wife conceive your children? Our eldest daughter was not planned. All the others were planned. Each time we conceived several months after we started trying. Our first 3 planned children were both our ideas, while she pressured me into having our youngest. She was in her late 30s and wanted one last child before it was too late, and eventually I agreed. She was conceived several months after we started trying too. 4. Are you infertile? I don't know. I've never had a fertility test done, but the fact that none of our planned children are mine makes me think that I might be. I will have a fertility test as soon as possible. Best comments. I'm really sorry to hear this. What a brutal and cold way to find something like that out. And for her to lie continuously is unbelievable. It's deplorable. I wouldn't worry about trying to save the marriage. If she's still lying to you, in the face of overwhelming evidence, then there's nothing left to save. Talk to a lawyer about how to start the divorce process and follow their advice to the letter. This is a really odd situation. For her to have 5 kids, all the result of different affairs, with you having had no suspicions, it's strange. I do notice from the ages that you were both teenagers when your first child was born, and I'm guessing it was a rather quick/shotgun wedding? It's possible she married you out of panic, having got pregnant and not knowing what to do, or even who the father was. I think you probably need to start going over your calendars and try to work out what was going on around their conceptions. Were you on a business trip? Was your wife away? This is also something I can't get out of my head. Our eldest daughter was not planned, and it definitely was a contributing factor into getting married, but all of our other children were planned. We specifically tried for them. So, I have to wonder how on earth none of the remaining 3 are mine. Did she take our planning as an opportunity to have unprotected sex with her affairs? Do I have fertility problems? I really don't understand how none of them are mine. I think it's also worth going for a fertility checkup yourself. I absolutely agree. I have put it off so far as I am afraid of the results, because it will effectively confirm in my mind that not even my youngest is my biological daughter. Update: 336 days after the first post. I have been debating whether or not to post an update because nothing was ever resolved. I decided I would post it here in case anyone is still waiting for one. I apologize for not updating early when I promised I would. My kids and I confronted their mother shortly after making that Reddit post. It really didn't go well. I think the prospect that no one believed her finally hit home because she completely broke down and apologized profusely, but refused to explain herself or anything that would give myself peace of mind. For the next few weeks, we barely said a word to each other. I was hoping she was thinking it over, and I expected her to eventually sit me down and explain herself. I figured she was so far deep in a lie that got out of control, she needed time to think things over. Nope. I came home one evening to find she had self-delete by overdosing. So, I lost the love of my life, and I'll never know what mistakes she had made. I really wish I could go back in time and forget about it all. Whatever mistakes she made, I honestly wanted to work through it, and now I'm just riddled with guilt that I pressed her for an answer. The worst part of this entire ordeal was watching my kids work so hard to keep me together, after having lost their mother. Anyway, please tell your family you love them while you have the chance.